Okay, everybody, we are ready, set? The meeting will please come to order. Would you all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Mr. Gibson, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, are you on, Dr. Banks?
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Can hear you now, yes, you're on. Very good, thank you. Okay, do I hear a motion for the minutes to be approved or changed?
Madam Chair, I move we approve the minutes as presented.
I second it.
All in favor of such motion, please signify by aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Okay, the minutes are approved. First of all, we will have our call to the public. You have the signees there? Thank you. Edward Aguirre.
Good evening. My name is Edward Aguirre, and I'm a student here at the Aravaipa campus. I would like to thank the CAC Governing Board for all their support and voluntarily serving as advocates of education in all corners of Pinal County. Thank you, Governing Board members. I've attended the Aravaipa campus since I was a high school sophomore, and now I'm about to transfer into nursing school to obtain my bachelor's through CAC and NAU. Aravaipa's classes and opportunities have allowed me to stretch beyond my small community in a realm of greater understanding of the world. Advocacy, research, and political action are just some of the skills I've learned and practiced throughout my academic career at this campus. 8 years ago, Outreach Coordinator and Advisor Maria Munoz walked into my 8th grade class to speak about a college scholarship opportunity. It was the Promise for the Future Scholarship of the CAC Foundation. 8 years ago, I signed this contract and pledged that I would keep my grades up throughout high school and be rewarded free tuition to any CAC campus. This contract and the Aravaipa campus was the bridge to success for me and many other students of Pinal County of the Copper Corridor. This campus is small in size, but it sits right at the heart of the Copper Corridor, serving students from Oracle, San Manuel, Mammoth, Dudleyville, Winkleman, Hayden, Kearney, and Superior. We students from the Copper Corridor come from small schools with low attendance, but that does not mean we do not deserve an equal opportunity and a full-scale campus, which includes access to tutoring, a learning center, a library, clubs and organizations, and most importantly, face-to-face instruction classes. There has been discussion citing irresponsibility to the CAC Governing Board for failure in consideration of closing or reducing satellite campuses that have a small number of students. Last year, I was one of 17 Aravaipa graduates at the district graduation, and I believe discussion of closing or reducing a college campus because of its graduation or attendance rate is disrespectful to future generations of students of the Copper Corridor that will attend this campus and benefit from its endless opportunities. I believe this way of thinking does not promise a future. Thank you. The number of graduates does not define nor begin to encompass the impact of an institution.
I did fail to mention, and probably most of you know, but you are limited to 3 minutes speaking. I thought we had a sign up, but we don't have here. Oh, you've got a timer. So the next speaker will be Kenzie McKinney.
Governing Board President Christensen, Governing Board members, President Moore, administration, colleagues, and guests, My name is Kenzie McKinney, and for over 12 years now, I've been honored to have my office here at the Aravaipa campus as a member of the English department. In fact, with the exception of a part-time instructor, I pretty much am the English department here at Aravaipa. Before coming to CAC, I taught writing full-time at Eastern Arizona College in Thatcher, just over the mountain, for 4 years. And before that, I was actually born and raised in rural southeastern Arizona. Needless to say, my heart resides in rural Arizona and with the people of this part of the world. Just one of the many things that makes me proud to work for CAC is its commitment to educating this entire county. As you know, CAC is unique in its need to educate a service area roughly the size of Connecticut, which includes this mighty campus for the people who live in Eastern Pinal, many of whom have lived here for generations, and might I add, have supported this campus for decades. However, more of our students than any of us realize do not have any or reliable internet access at home or a reliable computer, if one at all. Therefore, these community members rely on the face-to-face classes here at the campus. And unless students live across the street, they drive anywhere from 6 to 25 miles one way several times a week to attend their classes here and or complete their studies in the library. Since I was a graduate student in Kansas in 1994, I've taught college writing to thousands and thousands of students. So I feel confident in asserting that nothing can replace the impact of a group of students in one brick and mortar classroom, writing and collaborating and discussing together. CAC has provided this valuable educational opportunity to what can feel like an isolated part of the county, but that I assure you is full of hardworking, community-minded, loving families. Thank you for supporting these students by providing traditional learning opportunities that only serve to strengthen these communities for generations to come.
Margaret Goodbody.
Governing Board President Christensen, Governing Board members, President Moore, administration, colleagues, and guests. My name is Marni Goodbody, and it is my privilege to be the librarian here at CAC's Aravaipa campus. My remarks will be brief. I just wanted to address a claim made at a previous board meeting, that is that the tuition increase of $2 per credit hour will result in fewer students attending CAC. Fortunately, historically, that has not been true. A $2 per hour increase will average about $28 per year for a full-time student, and in the past, small increases like this in tuition have not made a noticeable impact on enrollment. To claim otherwise would be misleading. Thank you very much.
Louise King.
Good evening, Governing Board President Christensen, Governing Board members, President Moore, CAC administration, colleagues, and guests. My name is Louise King, and I'm a full-time biology instructor at this campus. I wanted to share with you just a few thoughts on the future and the importance of a couple of collaborations between our campus and the outside organizations in our community. These are the ones that I've been involved with just because they've been dealing with science, but I've also witnessed them developing during my time here, which has been less than 2 years. So first off, Biosphere 2. Our students have had the ability to do unique science labs at this non-for-profit organization or facility. For example, they've done marine science labs, climate change labs, and landscape evolutionary labs. In return, we've helped with K through 12 outreach projects. In fact, these K through 12 outreach projects have now become one of the highest income generating avenues for Biosphere 2. Pinal Trail, number 2, Pinal Trails and Open Space Committee. So our students are visiting local parks and open spaces such as 7B Ranch in Mammoth, which is actually a land exchange deal from Resolution Copper Mines. Yesterday we finalized a set of data that will be included in a quarterly report for the land manager. Also Arizona Game and Fish at number 3. We have just started a unique partnership with Arizona Game and Fish to study wildlife at the confluence of two great waterways we have here, the Aravaipa Creek and the San Pedro River. And then number 4, our speaker series. This is a year-long series that's open to the public, which you'll hear about more later, but it is generously supported by the Saddlebrook Educational Outreach Committee. What you might appreciate from these science-related collaborations is that they are benefiting not only our students, but also surrounding organizations in the community. I think campus community partnerships are complex because of the cultural, age, economic differences, and also how we generate knowledge, hands-on application versus research, reading and studying. But my view and my mission for our community college is to keep building these partnerships with our surrounding communities and letting each of us benefit from the collaborations. So I think it is important, especially as we meet here tonight with board members, community members, and campus members, to start sharing ideas on how we can help each other grow as a community. So for example, what would you like your community college to do for you? How can we help as a community college? And can you help us learn from you in the process? So let me just finish by quoting Dr. Platter, a nationally renowned academic leader, who said, "When partnerships are based on principles of reciprocation and resource sharing, they open up conversations which bridge national and cultural differences and provide platforms for deep, cumulative learning and research." Thank you.
I will ask the next one. Veronica Duran. Close to the microphone, okay.
Can everybody hear me? No? Better? Okay. President Christensen, governing board members, Dr. Moore, Mary Lou, staff, students, and community members. My name is Veronica Duran, and I wanted to come up here and actually personally thank President Christensen and the governing board for the years of service that you've given to the college. I know that it's very difficult with the decisions that you have to make, especially when you're confronted with community members and staff and individuals that don't really understand the governance or the policies and processes that you must go through before you make decisions. I know that it's difficult to for us to know whether or not you can use property taxes towards salaries or tuition towards salaries, and you get a lot of beat up regarding those issues. And so I want to say thank you for all that you do for the community, for the staff. Is everybody out here are stakeholders, whether you're community members, whether you're staff and students, you're all considered stakeholders. And so I want to thank you for everything that you do and for all of that you put up with the beatings that you have to incur going through these processes. And I also want to point out that with the tuition rate that the $2 increase that we see, and individuals are saying that that's going to prevent students, and with the comparing to other community colleges, when you look at other community colleges and you really look at their tuition and fees, those institutions may be $1 or $2 lower than us, but they also charge $15 per credit for an internet fee or $15 per credit for a lab fee. There's a lot of additional fees in there that Central Arizona College does not charge the students. So some of those things that, as we're looking at things, we really need to start asking questions and really looking at all of the information that we're taking in and that we're sharing with other individuals out there to be sure that we're sharing correct information. And again, I want to thank you for all that you do for us. I feel that you're doing the best that you can to support all of us, no matter how you are a stakeholder. Thank you.
Jerry Kaufhold.
First of all, thank you all who drove those miles over the mountain passes to attend this meeting. We locals appreciate just the physical effort it takes to get here, so thank you. Second, my daughter attends CAC Aravaipa. Thank you for providing an attractive campus excellent teachers, and an outstanding experience for students who live east of the Tortilla Mountains. We need CAC Aravaipa campus. But I'm here with a very specific message for you. This area needs opportunities that go beyond mining. The Copper Corridor Economic Development Coalition, or CCEDC, I know it's a mouthful, has been doing vital work to help our area diversify beyond mining for the last 12 years. I met Debbie Foster of CAC Aravaipa through meetings with the CCEDC that actually meets here at the campus. In June of 2015, the Kearney River fire destroyed over 1,000 acres of land along the Gila River near the town of Kearney. You probably saw it on TV. They covered it for several days. In September of 2015, Debbie Foster invited me to a presentation at the CAC Aravaipa campus here featuring Dr. Dan Higgins, a PhD from ASU's School of Sustainability. I came to the meeting, I went to the presentation, I approached Dr. Dan afterwards about getting contacts at the ASU Design School to help us brainstorm practical ideas for a public park and recreation space where the fire had burned. Dr. Higgins hooked us up with Dr. Chingwen Chong. Dr. Chong is a vibrant woman. She embraced the task of helping us identify ways to recover the burned out area and create a fire break. She has 14 students working on solutions that will help our region move beyond mining as the economic driver. This is a project that has been underway for the past 7 months, starting with a meeting at CAC Aravaipa. This amazing and enormous fire recovery project with ASU would not have gotten off the ground unless CAC Aravaipa facility was operating at full capacity, including the speaker series. And by the way, an ad, there's a speaker next Monday at 11 a.m. I will be here for that too, because you get to meet people from beyond the valley here. I understand that people are very concerned about their taxes and how much we all have to pay, but consider this. If our area remains solely dependent on mining, your taxes are going to go up because mines regularly and currently are laying people off. We need to diversify. CAC Aravaipa has become the tip of the spear for our area's future.
Thank you.
And it's a vital resource. Thank you.
Ruben Castro.
Good evening, esteemed board members, elected officials in attendance, and ladies and gentlemen. My name's Ruben Castro. I'm a longtime resident of Pinal County, born and raised in Superior, and have worked pretty much my entire career here in Pinal County. I stand here to tell you that I am very grateful for the commitment to education that Central Arizona College has put forth to the citizens of Pinal County, particularly those who reside in the eastern end of the county. As many of us know, Pinal County has experienced tremendous growth over the past 15 to 20 years, so much so that they've been ranked in the top 5% of the nation. And deservedly so, a lot of the resources and efforts to handle that growth have gone towards the parts of our county that have experienced that. The downside to that is that communities like those in the Copper Corridor can be negatively impacted by that because of the resources that are pulled away. Despite those issues, I stand in appreciation of the efforts that you've put forth to support education throughout Pinal County. It's critical that you continue to do so. I will tell you that aside from my family, members in my community, clients that I've worked with, we only get better when we have the opportunities to learn, when we have the opportunities to achieve, when we have the opportunities to break away from what's been done in the past and move forward in a different direction. Those things happen because of the presence of this campus and the other campuses that comprise the Central Arizona College campus system. So I thank you for your efforts to support our community. I encourage you to continue to do so. I know that there are difficult decisions that have to be made. I trust that you will use good judgment and reason in making those decisions, and be assured that you are in my prayers for guidance and for strength to make the right decisions. Thank you very much.
Michael Karns.
Good evening. My name is Michael Karns. I'm president of the Copper Corridor Economic Development Coalition. I'm a board member of the Mammoth Salmon Well School System and the general manager of the local publishing group. And I wanted to take a few minutes of your time to express how important this campus is to the Copper Corridor. It serves as a beacon of post-secondary education for our 5 high schools that are all shrinking high schools. It also serves as the economic vitality. We host our meetings for the Copper Corridor Economic Development Coalition here. The campus staff has been very supportive of the efforts for economic development and reaching out. And the community liaisons have served on our board and continue the mission of this campus to be vital to the Copper Corridor and its viability going forward. Those are the end of my comments. Thank you.
Cliff Terry.
Madam Chair, Governing Board, people present, thank you for the opportunity for me to be here. Tonight I'm not going to talk about the mistakes that have been made in the past of rapid expansion, nor am I going to say anything more about the fact that tuition is lower today than it was in 2007, even though 3 new campuses have been erected. But I want to get the message across of how business and business acumen working together with academia work and what benefits colleges and universities have in that regard. Looking at things that I've accomplished in the past, if you don't mind hearing a little bit about some of that. At California Polytechnic University, I served the chair of the Industry Advisory Council for over 2 years. The engineering department requested that we create a baccalaureate degree in manufacturing engineering. There wasn't one in 1986. And by 1987, we worked with academia through that board to be able to create the and get the Accreditation Board of Engineering Bureau to approve the courses that we provided. Since 1987, many graduates have received baccalaureate degrees in manufacturing engineering. The university built a new engineering building, and the Dean of Engineering asked us in this advisory council to accomplish a laboratory revitalization program, to inspect everything they had because it was ancient, and to upgrade it, and to advise how much it would cost to upgrade it, what equipment was needed, how to use it, and what industry could provide for them. We did a lot for them. At UCLA, I served the executive board for the Manufacturing Engineering Certification Program, upgrading the course program, and defining an additional certificated program for electronics in manufacturing. My HR Textron president wanted to upgrade our manufacturing engineers when he heard about those things, and as they were under my management, I put 33 of them through the certificated program, and 400 hours later, they were upgraded. Later, I was requested to teach the course of producibility of product design, and I taught evening classes across 4 quarters at the Pomona campus and at Santa Barbara. In 1986, at California State University, Northridge, California, serving the Manufacturing Engineering Program Advisory Council and the Engineering Course Subcommittee regarding the transfer of credit from 2 community colleges with approved transfer of credit into the industrial engineering degree at the State University. We were very successful in accomplishing that. serving the Industrial Engineering Council at California State Fullerton University. We did something very similar. Authoring 6 questions for the National Council of Engineering of examining engineers that were used in examinations for professional engineers, and received many packages to grade them in the end. So when you hear the words of business acumen, it doesn't mean we're saying anything against academia. Thank you.
Steve Brown.
Good evening, and thank you, Board. We got the wrong Steve? Which Steve have you got? Okay. I'm Steve Groth. I live in Oracle, and I'm Vice President of Education for Saddlebrook Community Outreach, which, in addition to Kids Closet, which many of you are aware of, often offers scholarships to local students. We have 38 kids on scholarship right now. We're interviewing 15 more for scholarships additional to this year. Our students come from San Manuel, from Hayden Winkleman, from Ray High School in Kearney, and Superior High School. And they come to CAC because it's affordable. As you know, Arizona has won the race to the bottom in supporting our university system. It costs about $26,000 a year now to go to the University of Arizona or ASU in terms of tuition, room and board, fees, what have you. It's much less expensive. Students can come here, they can live at home, and they can get a good start on their college career, taking basic education courses and then maybe moving on to the state university system. The kids from these schools need this help. I see all their academic and their financial situations and know how important these scholarships are to these children. So I urge you to support the school. About a third to a half of our scholarship students come here, and it's the best place to get a start for them and get on their way to an education and a new life. So thank you very much.
Now Steve Brown.
Good evening, Madam Chair and Board, and I'm the real Steve Brown. I came here tonight to speak briefly in support of the college. It has played an important part in my life, as I know, and many others of the folks here and many not here. CAC was here. Well, I should say I'm a member of the school board in Oracle. However, tonight I'm here speaking as a private citizen. CAC was here for me when I returned from Vietnam and trying to get my life back in order. I attended classes here, and it helped transition me back into civilian life. It was here when I had an opportunity to become director. Sorry. It was here when I had an opportunity to become director for the county for which I served for 25 years and required an associate's degree. And it worked out. It was convenient to come here in the evenings, work in the daytime, and be here in the evenings and finish my degree. And I also used to teach building code classes out here just as a guest speaker and a guest presenter a couple times. So my heart is with this campus. I'm grateful to CAC and specifically the Aravaipa campus for the positive difference it has made in my life. I'm here to add my voice to many other residents of Pinal County that recognize the importance of the Aravaipa campus, and especially to the communities here in eastern Pinal County. Our remoteness from the other campuses is significant. We are not as fortunate as those in the central and northern parts of the counties where there are several reasonable options and choices available at nearby colleges and campuses. I have heard some of the arguments on both sides of the current issues before us. As often happens when things become contentious and emotions run high, the facts don't always get told accurately. After listening to both sides, I think that is certainly the case here too. However, my reason for being here tonight is not to debate the issue, but to add my voice in support of this campus and to reiterate the importance of this college to our community. Eastern Pinal County residents pay our taxes and support the county as all others throughout this county. We deserve the same opportunities the other areas of the county enjoy. Our future depends on us providing modern, well-maintained facilities and supporting the students and educators 100%. I encourage all those that care about our communities and our future to be active in their support and wish the board good luck in making the obvious right decision. Thank you for your time.
Chris Perea. Not here. Maren Wilson.
Good evening, Governing Board President Gladys Christensen, Governing Board members, Acting President Dr. Moore, students, guests, administrators, and colleagues. I stand here to support Governing Board President Christensen in response to previous criticisms of her actions. First, I shall quote directly a portion of the Governance Process Policy 110. Quote, "The board president shall assure the integrity of the board's process and represent the board to outside parties. The board president is the only board member authorized to reflect the board's directives beyond simply reporting board decisions other than in specifically authorized instances," unquote. What this means is that no other board member can go beyond simply reporting board decisions except when specifically authorized. Only the governing board president can reflect directives beyond reporting decisions. Gladys, you are simply doing what you are supposed to be doing, what the board president is supposed to do. Thank you.
Janice Wagast? Jamie? Oh, Jamie Wagast.
Good evening. My name is Jamie Walgast, and I run the College for Kids program here at Aravaipa campus. I'm here tonight in support of Aravaipa campus, our wonderful program, and as an advocate for our local kids. I've been with the program since 2007, also serving as a volunteer for Mammoth Elementary, and currently for the last 6 years, Mountain Vista School in Oracle. I'm very proud of the College for Kids program. Our focus is always STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, including art, which are all important fields of the future. We get 50 kids, 2nd through 6th graders, excited about learning and keep their minds and bodies active during the summer. One of the main purposes is to introduce them to a college campus, getting them to think about future goals. We have kids who return year after year because they love the program so much. In fact, in order to keep kids off of a waiting list, we recently increased our student limit. We have also expanded our group leader positions because there's so much interest. Many students set a goal to attend until they are old enough as 7th graders to become group leaders. It is a privilege to them. As group leaders, they assist students and teachers with all activities, learning how to be responsible and serve their community. For this, they receive community service certificates for volunteer hours worked. Beyond the group leaders are the college aides, who are paid interns. Sometimes College for Kids is their first job, sometimes their only job, due to transportation issues. With both group leaders and college aides, I promise them that I will serve as a reference on their scholarship and job applications. This community is full of bright, amazing youth, from kindergartners all the way through college students. Aravaipa campus is there for them as they go through life. No other Central Arizona college campus provides a program like College for Kids. Even though it only takes place in the summer, its effects last much longer than that, and we help give kids a good start. We provide a resource where there are few. Our program is well supported by numerous local businesses and individuals and has been serving the community for over 30 years, consistently and effectively. In 2015, we received financial support from 20 separate entities, most of them supporting us year after year, and the program is only growing. For example, the Pinal County Attorney's Office provides our students with scholarships to help them fulfill the goal of keeping kids away from drugs and gangs. Did you know that some of the RICO funds confiscated from criminals in Pinal County goes toward our program to prevent our kids from going down the same path? Did you know that Saddlebrook Community Outreach is one of our biggest supporters? Students will be reading 2 letters of support from SBCO members tonight on behalf of College for Kids. You will also hear 2 letters of support from College for Kids teachers. Thank you.
Deena Robinson.
Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity to address the upcoming budget that I understand is currently under consideration. I want to offer a few thoughts. Whew, take a deep breath. I didn't want to be here this evening, but your actions over the last few years have forced me to. I'm living with your last 2 tax hikes, and I'm here to remind you that that new budget under consideration does not need a tax increase if you're considering one. With student enrollment on the decline here, there isn't a reason to increase your budget. If this was your money, you can be sure you'd be counting every penny and where it was spent. But it isn't, it's taxpayer money. You have forgotten that we elected you to serve as our watchdogs and to look out for taxpayers' interests. You haven't done that. The past few years you have approved some seriously high tax rate increases that I wonder, did they really have a purpose? You've done it because you can. There's no one to tell you no. I challenge you to review your upcoming budget with extreme care, questioning every line item, and realize that real people, not bottomless checkbooks, have to pay for your decisions. We elected you to look out for us. Instead, I feel that you are maybe rubber stamping what the college wants. You are the parent, college is the child. Please be a parent. Continuing to approve large spending budgets when the college has declining student enrollments is fiduciarily irresponsible. The board of directors are the oversight watchdogs of the college. You've lost sight of that, I feel, and you've become part of the college infrastructure. You're not here to get warm fuzzies from the staff and students. You've been entrusted by we, the taxpayers, to maintain an objective perspective and to make sound decisions. Please do that. Thank you.
Ken Robinson.
Good evening, board, community, students, faculty. I come here tonight to just remind you, a couple months ago, you didn't have the call to public up front before you voted on items. Now all of a sudden you do. I still don't understand why you don't have a maintenance management program. I worked in a facility in aerospace. The building was built in 1939. The structure's still there. I retired about 1.5 years ago. Every now and then they'll go in and do some cleanup, maintenance, resolve things, spend some money. I can't see tearing down the cafeteria building if you'd spend $25,000 to $30,000
on the maintenance on it. You got a structural sound building, but you're going to waste over $33 million tearing it down, building some new facilities because you like everything to look new. That's irresponsible. I worked for 18 years in the aerospace industry. I also worked in the military. I understand you don't have a maintenance management program. You don't have a preventive maintenance management program either. We do in our condo out there in Hawaii that I'm on the board. We have a program to maintain the facility. Just because we've got some cracks don't mean we're going to tear down 6 buildings that has 130 condos in it because we want something new. People can't afford that. So you need to look at a program to maintain your buildings. And I don't see that. I understand you don't have one. And you probably never will because you like to go out and spend money and then tax people or put in bonds. Because I know what you approved for $33 million isn't going to be $33 million. I know that for a fact. You'll go over budget, probably $5 or $6 million. So you need to take a look at what you're doing with your budgets, make the right decisions. Because I certainly do. I did a lot of finance work in the aerospace industry, but I also have some other programs I deal with some junior officers. We're all within the budget. So take heed. We're still watching you. Good evening.
Paula Brock.
Good evening, President Christensen. Can everybody hear me? Okay, great. Governing board members, colleagues, community members, and especially students. The reason I'm speaking during Call to the Public tonight is because at our last meeting, I heard a little bit of information that really worried me. And currently I'm serving as an employee group leader, and I felt like I needed to delve into the questions a little bit more, or the information that I heard a little bit more. It was mentioned that a paid CAC employee spoke before the Pinal County Board of Supervisors. I myself logged onto the Pinal County Board of Supervisors website and watched their March 2nd meeting. The person that spoke in front of the Board of Supervisors was not a CAC employee. That was just a community member, so I want to go on record as saying that was not an employee. It was also stated that CAC only lost $125,000 in state aid this last year, so we need to keep in mind that the $125,000 is a part of a series of cuts that have resulted in CAC's state aid falling from $6.8 million in 07-08 to less than $1.8 million today. And that's a $5 million loss. There's also a statement made that our budget, CAC's budget, is larger than Mesa Community College's budget. So I decided to check with a couple of people, one of them being our budget development officer who does this. And I found out some good information. So our total overall budget is $109 million. But of that $109 million, only $48.2 million is operational. Operational dollars are spent on expenses such as utility costs, maintenance, salaries, benefits. The other dollars, the $60.8 million, are completely restricted. They can only legally be spent on costs such as bonds, grants, and expenses associated with grants we get, and debt servicing. Those dollars cannot go to operational costs. So we were compared to MCC, but we need to keep in mind that MCC is a large urban community college. If we're going to compare, let's do apples to apples and compare ourselves to other rural small community colleges. So our operational budget is $48.2 million. Arizona Western's operational budget for 15-16 is $40.7 million. Eastern Arizona College in Thatcher comes in at $41 million. Yavapai Community College comes in at $44 million. So CAC, we serve a population of about 400,000 people spread across an area the size of the state of Connecticut. So truly, our operational budget is very much in line with our peer colleges. So I just wanted to address some of those issues. Thank you.
Jesse Moreno.
Good evening, CAC faculty and staff.
Could you get closer to the mic?
As a student with a disability, I am not able to drive myself to college. Therefore, transportation is very limited, with both my parents having to work. I then have to rely on my grandparents or friends for rides. The CAC Aravaipa campus has helped me with its location being so close to home because I graduated back in high school in 2014. So with the Aravaipa campus being so close to my home, I was granted the opportunity of going to college where I don't need to stay in a dorm, and I can be close to my family in case of an emergency. Another example of how the Aravaipa campus has helped me is through financial aid, because not only does it help my family and myself by covering my schooling and my books, but it helps my parents by saving money and not having to pay out of pocket, because some universities don't cover everything that they tell you they cover. If this campus was to close, I'd probably be at home wasting my time trying to find ways to keep myself busy, because I am unable to qualify to transfer to a four-year university because of how much tuition has skyrocketed, leaving students in high debt to where they even drop out and go to small community colleges much like this one, in order to create a future for themselves. The Aravaipa campus has also helped me further my education in ways that I myself would never have done without the help of our wonderful faculty and staff that take time away from their busy work schedule to help us figure out our plan for the future and talk to us one-on-one to pick classes we enjoy taking. Our campus may not be big and have workforces on site or provide child care services like other colleges offer, or offers the students the opportunity to play sports, but something this college does offer and have is a very friendly environment to where students like myself can feel welcome and enjoy going to college and wanting to come back and socialize with friends. Honestly, I cannot have found a better community college to come to. Thank you.
Dr. Christine Dumal.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Christina Dumal, and I believe it was Mrs. Prock. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. I was one that made a mistake last time comparing operational to overall budget. Okay, I've talked to someone in the finance department and asked them, because most of us out in the real world look at the overall operational budget. We don't look, the overall budget, not the operational budget. That was where the confusion was. So they said they would try and put that information on the website and explain that so people in Pinal County can understand what's going on. I want to talk a little bit about the budget that's coming up. I've taken a look at it. And from 2015 to the proposed budget, you are asking for an increase of $3 million. There's an increase of primary tax levy, which is going to be a 48% increase by $18 million, from $38,304,414 to $56,722,470. You're also increasing the primary tax rate by 44.3%. I think we've gone through this, and every time, this has been like the third time since I've lived here, that this has come up, and this is when we normally have crowds like you all. Other times, I have not seen crowds like this. People are upset. They're very upset about this. So I want to compare this, and I'm going to compare it to the Chandler Gilbert Community College, which is similar. We have, in CAC, we have a full-time student equivalent of 4,130 students. Chandler Gilbert has full-time student equivalents of 4,467. This particular community college, just down the road from us, is only increasing their budget from 2015 to 2016 by $21,991. That's quite a big difference, $3 million versus $21,000. Okay, and there's another thing, there's some facts I'd like to put out, and you can all check this. From the 2015 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report for CAC, figures from 2006 and up to 2015. Property tax supporting CAC has increased 80%. In 2006, it was $26,850,992. In 2015, it was $48,307,654. Total number of government grants to CAC has increased by 200%, from $5,526,378 to $16,364,967. The share of sales tax, see, there's lots of different taxes that come in to support this college. That has increased by 18% during that same time period. State appropriations during the same time period have decreased by 49%. Everybody keeps saying 65, and I sure can't figure that one out. They have gone from $5,915,000 to $800 to $3 million. Anyway, so what we were saying, we want you to be responsible. Thank you.
Manuel Chavez.
Can everyone hear me? No? Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Board President, members of the board, faculty, staff, students, and guests. First of all, I'd like to thank the Board of Directors for their service to CAC. 20 years ago, I used to be an ex-copper miner, and because of the depressed copper market, I was laid off. And so I decided, you know what, I need to get better skills, and so I came to CAC, and I started my educational career here at CAC. Because I started those educational classes here, I built a great foundation due to the great staff and teachers that they have here at CAC. Because they laid the foundation, I was able to go on to NAU and become successful at the university level. And once I graduated and I began teaching, this is my 14th year in teaching, and I'm a STEM teacher. And during the course of my education career, I was nominated as Teacher of the Year Ambassador in 2010. And in 2010, I also was nominated and I held a Board of Directors seat for West Ed, which is a research and educational development organization. And I was the teacher representative for the Western United States. All of that was because of the great foundation that was established here at Central Arizona College due to the great teachers and staff. One of the things that I also want to talk about is it's easy to not offer solutions and say, let's close the campus. I'm going to offer a solution. One of the solutions that there are many that can be offered. There's over 100 teachers here within a 35-mile radius. And I would like to ask the board to consider if they would offer professional development, because many people say that this campus is underutilized, by offering professional development to the teachers, because we need professional development throughout the whole school year to keep our licenses current. And you could utilize the staff here at Central Arizona College, and it would benefit the college, and it would benefit the teachers, and it would benefit the students also. One last thing that I would like to say is 18 years ago, Central Arizona College opened doors for me, and I would like the same to happen to my son and the other students that are here also too. I would like Central Arizona College to open doors for the future for our young men and women. Thank you.
Mary Creaser. What is it? Kaiser.
Good evening, President Christensen, Governing Board, and attendees. I am up here to talk about how CAC has impacted my life. I am a faculty member. I'm at the Signal Peak campus. I've been there for 10 years. And the first time I ever walked onto a CAC campus was in 1982. So I'm showing my age a little bit. But my husband now, was attending there, and he was on the basketball team. My brother-in-law was on the track team. So the first time I walked onto campus, I thought, wow, what a beautiful campus on the side of the mountain. And it was pretty small back then, not as big as it is now, out in the middle of nowhere. I didn't realize then that 25 years later I'd become a teacher there. But my brother-in-law graduated college, graduated with an education degree, moved back to Casa Grande, and has taught there ever since. He coaches, does a lot in the community. So we moved away, but we came back in 1993, and I taught at the elementary schools, and my husband teaches at the high school. He also taught in Maricopa, and he coaches too. So he's impacted a lot of youth. We're both committed to the community. I began teaching for CAC in the evening, and then I began full-time in 2006. So CAC has impacted my life. I've seen that it has really brought us back to Casa Grande. It always gave us that community feeling. They have connections with the college, and as the youth graduate high school and go on to college, we follow them there. But I also want to say I have 3 children, and they've all attended CAC. My son lives in Casa Grande and works full-time there. My second son graduated from CAC, went on to ASU, got his 4-year degree in criminal justice, and now he's a police officer in Casa Grande and a SWAT member, so it makes me a little nervous. But he's doing good things in the community. He and his wife bought a house, and they live in Casa Grande. And my daughter's going to graduate from the radiology technician program in December. And so I want to talk just a little bit about that amazing program and some of the amazing programs that we have at CAC. I don't know if you know this, but this is on their page on the CAC website. So the radiology technician program, they have statistics from the past 5 years. 100% of their graduates are employed, mostly within a month, but all of them by 12 months. 100% of them in the last 5 years have passed the state board exam. 100% of them have completed it. So, and then the satisfaction rate by businesses is 4.5%. So anyway, I just want to say it's a great program, and I appreciate CAC.
Heather Moulton.
My name is Heather Moulton. I've taught English and literature at CAC for 10 years. I've seen many changes, some positive and some negative. Through every change, one thing has remained constant, and that's what, or really who, I want to focus on this evening: the students. It is the student body that keeps me smiling and mostly sane. Often the students feel like they don't have voices in the college community. However, in the last few years, and perhaps most especially lately, the student newspaper has excelled in giving students a voice. Also, it truly embodies the CSLOs, the Common Student Learning Outcomes, of CAC, and gives students real-life writing experience. CSLO 1 is cultural and civic engagement. Clearly, the students are civically and culturally involved with their community. The newspaper itself is diverse and demonstrates social consciousness. The stories branch in many directions, exemplifying diversity, including coverage of the board meetings, student loan tips, the Over the Rainbow section, always one of my favorites, that addresses real-life issues in the gay community, or, as I like to call it, the community. There are movie, recipe, music, and app reviews. There's also a sports section. Some nutty professor even got involved and has a column called Ask a Professor. In other words, the voices of the newspaper are many, successfully representing not just CAC, but the world at large. CSLO 2, Integrative Knowledge, which is essentially critical thinking. One stellar example of this critical thinking appears in the October 2015 Cactus editorial, James Peru's Common Ground, the Forgotten Art of Seeking Constructive Conversations. In my classes, we discuss the Rogerian structure for arguments, which is an alternative to confrontational and angry arguments. The idea is that people involved in disputes should not respond to each other until they can fully, fairly, and even sympathetically state the other person's position. How thrilled was I to see a CAC student acknowledge the lost courtesy of constructive conversation, replaced by people, often adults who should know better, who simply write and/or yell fallacies. There are lots of examples of news sources, blogs, and even presidential debates that highlight and even promote childish temper tantrums instead of reporting real facts and genuine opinions. Peru's editorial renewed my faith in the ability of our students to take what we teach and apply it in other areas. CSLO 3, personal and professional skills. Obviously, the newspaper provides real-world writing, maybe the start of a journalism career, and community involvement. CSLO 4, reasoning skills. The student newspaper is and always has been run by students, many of them young and finding their way in the world. They choose the stories, include photographs, complete interviews, and work on the layout. What impresses me most about the students is their tenacity, earnestness, and honesty in a medium that is largely self-serving, biased, and dishonest. I hope other news sources will take a lesson from the cactus. Thank you.
Carol Johnson.
Good evening, Madam President, Governing Board, and guests. I am Carol Johnson, Director of the Honors Program. Before I comment on some of the outstanding honors students from this campus, I feel compelled to express concern over aspects of our presidential search. As board members know, I rarely miss a meeting. I do this because I care about the leadership and direction of this college. I was selected by my faculty colleagues to be a member of the search committee. I was at the board meeting when its specific requirements for the presidency were announced and approved. The background of potential candidates would consider a combination of education and private sector senior leadership experience. Because search committees at CAC score applications without anonymity and shape interview questions, I thought it best to excuse myself when I learned of a close colleague who would apply in the interest of an ethical, unbiased search. When the job announcement posted, the consideration of outside experience disappeared. The strong candidate I know was disqualified, and assumingly, many others who may have served us well. At last week's special meeting, I was anxious to hear the names of the candidates who would be at the forums. Hearing only one name was surprising and disappointing. This limits additional input from CAC employees and our external constituents and all of our students from sharing their thoughts on the potential of more than one candidate. My position here at Central Arizona College is serving as honors faculty and the director of Phi Theta Kappa, our academic organization. In recent years, our team has expanded Phi Theta Kappa to all 5 campuses. We have amazing, hardworking faculty that serve as Phi Theta Kappa advisors. This includes Professor Moreno Wilson, residential faculty at Aravaipa, who dedicates much time to ensure that the Phi Theta Kappa group on this campus is vibrant and scholarly. Having Phi Theta Kappa here at Aravaipa provides students who wish to enhance their academic experiences the opportunity to do so. The Phi Theta Kappa students at this campus are successful in many respects. In the 3 years I have been at CAC, Aravaipa has produced 3 All-Arizona Academic Team Scholars, all of whom have won additional rewards as a result of being selected to All-Arizona. This includes 2 Coca-Cola scholarships awarded to David Rollins and Edward Aguirre, and the very prestigious and highly competitive All-USA Academic Team Selection awarded to Lorena Villanueva. Phi Theta Kappa students at Aravaipa care about their community, and their service efforts reflect this. They participate in the highway cleanup annually, tour local high schools promoting CAC and Phi Theta Kappa. Just this academic year, they have been part of the Mammoth Light Parade, collected cards to send to deployed troops, manned a booth for Pioneer Day, and will participate in the Clothesline Project, an effort to raise awareness for domestic violence. I want to thank the board for your support of Honors Phi Theta Kappa and Aravaipa. Thank you.
Andrew Madrid.
Good evening, Governing Board and community members or community residents. My name is Andrew Madrid, and I'm here to share my story about how I started here at CAC jot down some notes here, just trying to figure out what I would say and what I would share with you. And there's just so much that that I experienced here at Central Arizona, and it started in 2001. And at that time, I was working at a Sarco, and I had 11, close to 12 years there, and really didn't know what I was going to do for the next 20-some years before retirement. One of the turning points, one of the points in my life was trying to figure out how can I get, what can I do to become a journeyman there. I had this desire to maybe obtain something in the field of maybe it was pipe fitter or carpentry, but I never got that opportunity. And the more I waited, the more I got discouraged. And it wasn't until I decided that I would come out here to CAC, and at that time I was remodeling my house, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to take a woodshop class. And you know, it kept my mind off some things that were going on in my life, and little did I know that at the end of that semester I went to the mailbox, and I looked and I took something out of the mail, and I seen this, what it was a transcript. I thought it was money that I owed. And I opened it up and I realized that these two classes that I had taken, one here and one at Kearney, I had received a grade. It was an A and a B. And it was like, what? I hadn't received a grade since I was in high school. And I had not had any college experience after high school. All that time I was making money, good money at Aravaipa, and good benefits. But you know what? Money wasn't everything. And it wasn't until I got the education here, and I got the support from awesome professors. And I wasn't just a person like I was at a Sarco. You know, you're just a number over there. I became a student here, and I got to know these professors, and I got the support that I needed. And just like Mr. Chavez, my coworker, I obtained the skills that I needed. Went on to I did 4 years part-time here, and you know, did the Phi Theta Kappa and the student government. I was president of those two groups. Got the All Arizona, got the scholarship. Went on and did great things. Got NAU. I did my NAU, my bachelor's there, and then 2 years later, in 2011, I attained my master's degree. But you know what? It was all because of the support I had. It wasn't all about me. It was all about the support that I got here at CAC. So thank you, CAC. Thank you, Governing Board.
Samantha Sampson.
On behalf of teacher Yvette Guerrero, I'll be reading her letter. Dear CAC Board of Education, I would like to begin this letter by saying I have been very proud of our Aravaipa campus and believe that it has produced many amazing careers that serve our surrounding communities. My name is Yvette Guerrero, and I have attended CAC Aravaipa campus when there has been no other way for my education needs. I would like to engage you in my background with Aravaipa in hopes to guide you in sustaining Aravaipa's campus. I am currently a kindergarten teacher in the Mammoth Samuel School District, and I began my career at CAC Aravaipa campus. I am a Samuel graduate and completed some of my early courses work through Aravaipa while attending high school, which later led to helping me graduate college in 3.5 years rather than 4. My NAU's honor program My goals were to attend NAU and Flagstaff's, and I did. I received a full ride scholarship to NAU's honors program, but unfortunately I lost my full ride after the first semester. When I realized my NAU education was not in jeopardy, along came Aravaipa Lifesaver. The statewide program through NAU is my own hometown. I couldn't ask for a better education. is sure better attended Flagstaff University, so far from home, and that began the reason why my grades had fallen. I couldn't imagine attending CAC in Casa Grande on a daily basis or attending another college so far from home. I learned it just didn't suit me. So my journey for a teacher career began at Aravaipa. I can only hope that this letter reaches your heart and any doubt that our campus does not just serve a purpose to education, but to provide stable in our community and families. I look forward to telling my children how I started out and hope that they also have the same chance to provide themselves with a successful life as your campus has given to me. Sincerely, Yvette Guerrero.
Robin Newman.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, board. I am reading behalf of Elise Grams. She has a doctorate of education and is on the education committee and is a Saddlebrook Community Outreach Board member. This letter is in support of many educational programs and students that Saddlebrook Community Outreach help financially at Central Arizona College, particularly the campus in Aravaipa. Every year, nearly half of our scholarships students in the Copper Condor Corridor schools attend Central Arizona. For some part of their college coursework, we work with the staff, students, and their families to make sure they have the financial and educational resources they need to be successful in college. Next year, there will be nearly 60 Saddlebrook scholarships given. Many of the freshmen and sophomores will get their start at CAC. In conjunction with the library staff this year, SBCO has funded at speakers series to introduce students and staff to professors from U of A, ASU, as well as the Pinal County Medical Examiner. For at least 12 years, SBCO has been a key partner in the 2-week summer program, College for Kids, which introduces 40 to 50 second through 6th graders from the surrounding elementary schools to the scientific world that surrounds them. Our community personally visits the program every year because it is so successful. Students come back year after year because they enjoy it so much. Frankly, a significant part of our educational funding goes into programs that CAC and its local schools so desperately need. We take our responsibility to support public education in our communities very seriously, and we expect that the CAC board and constitutes should as well. Sincerely, Elise S. Grams. Thank you. Thank you.
Fred Rogbar. Is that right name?
My name is Fred Roybal. It's kind of hard. It seems like a simple name, easy name to pronounce. Sometimes we have difficulties with that. But I'm here in support of the board. I am a retired school teacher. I have a family of 4. We all have our degrees, 2 of them from junior colleges. The other 2 have also their degrees. 2 of us are Sun Devils. The other 2 are Wildcats. But seriously, I'm from San Manuel. I went to school in San Manuel. I like education. Those of you who oppose education, I think, are wrong. Those of you who support it are absolutely correct. Simple reason. The more you know, the better off you are. The higher your degree, the better you apply it. And the better you apply it, the happier you're going to be in the long run financially. Now, the junior colleges have a role in education to play, and I think it's a great one. I always think of Saddlebrook as some of those people in Saddlebrook that offer these scholarships, that go out and work hard and earn money to offer these scholarships. I think they're absolutely great. And I think you folks deserve a pat on the back because it is one of the greatest things that some of these students from Kearney along the river here, some of us can't afford to go to school. This is a start for some of us. This is a new beginning, a new opening for some of us, and I think this is what we need. And I sincerely hope that those of you that feel the same way I do will please let the board know exactly how you feel and just how important education is to not only us here on the river, but also this dadgum state. Our state is probably at the lowest end, about probably the bottom 5 in education across this country. Why? I don't know why. But I do know those people who try to get rid of education, slow it down, are wrong. We need to teach our young people what we know and what we know more of. It is imperative. If you want your kids to be successful, they've got to know more than you do. Well, maybe not. But the fact remains, we need to encourage our board to continue their education. It is a bridge. A junior college is a bridge to higher education. Thank you.
Annie Martinez.
Can you guys hear me? No? Okay, is this better? Yeah? Okay. Good evening, governing board members. I just want to really quickly, my daughter is actually next on the list, and she would like to speak to you, so if it's okay with you, as soon as I'm done, I'll just let her go, if that's okay. I come to you tonight as Annie Martinez, the student, and as Annie Martinez, the taxpayer, and Annie Martinez, the parent. First, I want to cover the taxpayer aspect. I live in Mammoth, and I own my own home, and I pay property taxes every year. And every year when I get my statement, I cry. A little bit every year, because one of the things that gets the fewest amount of my taxpayer dollars is our school district. Not just our public school district, but the CAC governing board. And I think education is so important and it's so needed and it's so critical that it makes me sad that Pinell County isn't donating more of my taxpayer dollars to you guys, because education is at the heart of everything. We live in a rural area and these services are critical to all of the towns that are involved. Now, for briefly just a little bit about Annie the student, I got married at 17. I dropped out of high school my senior year, needing just a few credits to graduate. I got my GED, and in 2003, I decided to go back to school. I was working in Tucson, and it would have been much easier for me to attend Pima Community College, but I chose to support our local school, and I chose CAC, and more specifically, Aravaipa. I had to graduate without completing all of my AJEC requirements in order to transfer to a 4-year university because I had a medical problem that came up that prevented me from achieving that. But I graduated, and once I got my health back on track, I started back again on my quest to obtain my bachelor's. Aravaipa Campa was my first and only choice to go back to school. I'm an honors student. I'm an active member of Phi Theta Kappa, and I believe a large reason for my success is the faculty and support of the staff and the administration at the Aravaipa campus. They have empowered me and educated me, giving me all the skills that I will need when I transfer to the University of Arizona Honors College in the fall. Next month, I will graduate once again from CAC Aravaipa with my AA and the completed AJET courses, and I will once again walk with honors. I use the skills that I learned at my time at Aravaipa to help me every day to make my community a better place. I'm an active member of my community, not just in service, but also with community politics. I use these skills to make my community better, not just for me, but for all of our future generations. I know that you hear a lot from a very small minority of Pinal County that Aravaipa should be closed, but I'm here to tell you they're wrong. We have an entire community composed of students, both old and young, from Kearney to Oracle, that depend on Aravaipa campus in order to succeed. I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. I ask you to please always be aware that we're creating the next generation of leaders, and their beginning is at CAC and more specifically Aravaipa. As a parent, student, and taxpayer, I ask that you please think of the future of our generations that depend on Aravaipa to make their dreams come true before you take any action. Thank you.
Miss Lexi Martinez.
Tell them what you were going to say.
I want to go to school when I grow up like my mom, but if you close it down, I can't do that, so leave it open.
Terry Adams.
Good evening, everybody. I'm here to offer support for CAC. I've been in the community since the early 70s. I've delivered parts out of Winkleman to the maintenance department, to the body shop, to the woodworking shop. If CAC shuts down, not only are you losing a vital community service, the economic fallout will take years to recover. But more importantly, before you make that final decision, think about all the graduates since the inception of CAC Aravaipa that's walked across the stage and got their diplomas. Think about the future generations that won't have that same opportunity. Will we survive? Yeah, we probably will. But should we have to? Should future generations lose the opportunity to come to this beautiful campus to receive a highly qualified degree in education because of budget cuts or whatever the case may be? There's faculty members here that's going to have to travel. Students will now have to travel to Tucson or Phoenix or Globe or wherever to try to get education instead of just 30, 40 miles. We need to keep Aravaipa CAC open for future generations. Thank you.
Karen Hinhetty.
Good evening, Madam President, Governing Board, Dr. Moore, Ms. Hernandez, colleagues, students, and community members. My name is Karen Hinhetty, and I am a CAC employee and a Pinal County taxpayer. I am here tonight to urge the board to support the employee request for a 2% raise. In 2011 and 2012, employees received 0 salary increases. In 2013, a salary study was implemented by this board in order to bring employee salaries as close to market value in Arizona as possible. At that time, it was noted that it would take an increase of approximately 8% to our salary tables to bring them up to market value. Employees received only 2% that year. In 2014, the average increase in employee salaries in Arizona was 2.7%. CAC employees received a 1% salary increase, putting us still further behind market value. CAC employees are dedicated and hardworking, and we need to continue to attract the best employees to this college and continue to keep our employees here in Pinal County. One of my colleagues informed me a week ago that he has accepted a position at one of the Maricopa community colleges because he will earn 20 to 25% more than what he makes here at CAC doing the same job. We have lost 20 years of his experience. This example of an employee leaving for an increased salary elsewhere in the state is not an isolated incident. Last year, CAC employees received a 4% increase. While this increase was above the average increase in Arizona that year, we are still behind given the past years. If we anticipate a 2% increase in salaries this year, at the very least, we will approximately still be paid 3 to 4% below market value. A 2% increase would be welcomed, but it still keeps us behind what the market value shows is equitable. Please support at least this minimal increase. It is a solid step in the right direction as we continue to make CAC a vital asset to this community and to retain the very best employees here to serve our students. Thank you.
Denise Sanchez.
Good evening, board members. I'm a student here at CAC, and if it wasn't for this campus, I wouldn't be graduating in the next spring. And I really enjoy this campus because it's close to home. It's only 20 minutes from my house. And I like the tutoring, the free tutoring that you get here. If you go to a university or other colleges, they charge you to have tutoring services. And the small classes are awesome, and you have the interaction with the teachers a lot better than you would at another college or at university. And I'm proud to say that I am graduating, and I hope you do keep this campus open. Thank you.
Frank Pearson.
Good evening. Good to be here. You're quite a timekeeper. We could have used you in the presidential debates and they wouldn't have gone on so long. My name is Frank Pearson, and I'm a resident of Oracle since 1979, when my wife Kaz, who's here with me, bought a home and began to be taxpayers to Pinal County. And since that time, I've been employed in various areas and traveled. Just retired about a year and a half ago. I'm one of those taxpayers who are deeply appreciative of the work of Central Arizona College, and especially of the importance of this campus, because there are so many people that I know, a few of whom are here today, who can testify, as you have heard, of the importance of sustaining and building off of this extraordinary history of the Aravaipa campus. And if the community has failed in any way, it is that we have not stepped up to the plate to the degree that we should have with our creativity and our thoughts about possible improvement, like I think it was Mr. Chavez who offered a comment about teaching and certification and so forth. When I first moved to Oracle, actually I became a student here, and it was in building trades. And I was looking around for something else, and the building trades program here, I'll testify, made me a better person and a different person. And also, we found work in building trades for quite a period of time, thanks to Central Arizona College. People don't know also that back in that time, Central Arizona, the Aravaipa campus was responsible for building the Oracle Community Center in an extraordinary collaboration, the kind of thing that just doesn't happen, but it did, based on Aravaipa campus working with the community in Oracle. This campus started SPATS, the theater group, which has been a stunning success, a huge economic driver in Oracle right now, and has been an inspiration for many in terms of the performing arts. So I look at the Copper Corridor now. You've heard the way it's moving. The best days, we were down. The best days now are ahead of us, and the best days of this campus are ahead of us. If we bring the creativity that is in this region together in order to make this place even stronger than it currently is. I'll conclude. I know I know. I'll conclude by saying thank you so much to the employees and to the teachers and to the staff members and to the students who have sustained this campus over all these many years, so you can be part of, as we can be a part of, passing it on to the next generations to come. Thanks for your attention.
Pinal County Supervisor Pete Rios.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. And let me say, first of all, thank you for your service, board members, Madam Chair. Thank you for electing to be public servants. We sincerely appreciate that. Sometimes being a public servant gets to be a thankless job. And I would know after having been in this field for 30-some years. But let me say, in addition to that, thank you for the way you have Pinal County divided up with campuses. We sincerely appreciate that you have not denied any student, regardless of where they reside in Pinal County, accessibility to education. And thirdly, let me say that Central Arizona Community College is the only post-secondary institution in Pinal County. And thank you for not neglecting Eastern Pinal County. We sincerely appreciate that. Let me tell you what this is all about. This morning, our economic development specialist gave us a new list of the projects, the economic development, and I'll leave a copy for you, Madam Chair, the economic development projects that have been completed, are in the pipeline, or will soon be completed in Pinal County. And why do I mention that? Because these businesses and these corporations are looking for a job-ready workforce. Where are they going to get it if not from CAC? And I've talked to a lot of these potential employers, and that is something that they stress when they look at where to locate. What quality education do you all provide? I mean, Arizona doesn't look good to begin with because our infamous legislature has cut K-12 education, has cut community colleges, has cut all over the place so that they can go home and say, look, we balanced the budget, we didn't have to increase taxes. No, you cost shifted taxes to a lot of places. But let me say, there are 37 major projects in Pinal County that will be providing primary jobs. And I'm not talking about retail secondary jobs. Those will come as well. But in terms of the primary jobs, we all have heard about Resolution Copper in Superior. What are they looking at? they're looking at a $5 to $10 billion investment. They're looking at 3,500 jobs that they will provide for the community. They're really. I've always been known for being long-winded, but I didn't know I had spoken 3 minutes.
Thank you so much. Sam Hostler.
Madam Chairman, members of the board, administrators, faculty, students, and taxpayers. My name is Sam Hostler. I am a native of Arizona. I'm a graduate of Winslow High School, and my teachers were almost all of them were trained by a certain man named Grady Gamage back when he was doing some teaching in Flagstaff and also at a little place called Tempe, Arizona State College. And he also ran many of the schools in Arizona and served as the superintendent of the Winslow Public Schools. And so I had the benefit of working with all these teachers he had trained and taught, who really knew what education was about. And it was fascinating because Grady Gamage basically focused most of his educational career in rural Arizona. And so I find it just fascinating to see how Central Arizona College, and especially the Aravaipa campus, is interwoven with the life of all of the people here. You know, in Kearney we have a lot of people in our little town. We are a full service community, so we have fire and we have ambulance and we have police and we have sewer and water and a swimming pool and a park and all that sort of stuff. And you know, if it weren't for CAC, the preponderance of most of our students would not have had their education to serve as emergency medical specialists or to work on our police department or to work on our fire department. And so I'm so thankful for that. I'm also thankful that our town manager is a graduate of the Hispanic Leadership Institute, which takes place here at CAC. And the same for one of our council members who is here tonight. And so I see in my years when I was in Winslow High School, I could have gone to go to Arizona State College in Flagstaff, or as it was called then, Arizona State Teachers College, or I could have gone to Arizona State College at Tempe, or the University of Arizona, and I wound up going to the one that had the U sound in it. So I went with that. And at that time, there were only 2 colleges, community colleges, Phoenix College and the Eastern Arizona Junior College in Thatcher. So there wasn't much for rural people. But I see that in the CAC code, that part of your motto, part of your mission statement is education that is accessible. And that speaks realms. I am so glad to have come back to my native Arizona to see the growth of community colleges all over the state, and I'm especially thankful for this campus here. Thank you.
Dorothy Staggs Van Deelen. If I said it wrong, you can correct me.
Thank you. My name is Dorothy Staggs Van Deelen, only because I was married a month ago. I don't know who I am yet. But I do know one thing, that as I am the president of the Salmonwell Senior Center, and our motto is Senior Serving Seniors. And on our board of 8, we have 3 board members that are currently attending CAC. And their traits that they have learned here add to our board And as I said, we are seniors serving seniors, and so they help us with our building. We have to maintain our own building. They help us better our yard work. And as a board member, they know how to sit, listen, and respond respectfully, and I really appreciate that. And they have learned a lot of that here. Also, so many people think that seniors do nothing but sleep, watch TV, I don't know, shop, go to the movie. I don't get to do any of that. Get married. I love that part. But we had a meeting last week with a lot of our seniors, and this topic came up because I had not heard about the campus closing or anything. And so as a group, we were discussing how important this campus is. Many of our seniors have attended school here. Our children have attended here. Our grandchildren are now attending here, and many of us have great-grandchildren that are attending here. How thankful we are as senior citizens in San Manuel to be able to have a place to send our children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren where they can get an education. And I hope that this campus will remain open so that our great-great-grandchildren will be able to attend this college. Thank you.
This one's got me entirely. Richard Wadsworth? Richard something, and you come tell me who you are. Robert. Oh, it's Robert. Please introduce yourself, sir, since I did not do it correctly.
I am Robert Van Deelen,
Thank you.
senior. The young lady that just spoke to you is my new bride. And I am under new management. And I understand what places and things have to take place within one's life because of new management. The changes that have come about in her life and mine affect a lot of people in the same manner in which it does us. While I have been a citizen here since almost 5 or 6 years after the mines opened, I did serve on the committee that originally selected the site on which you're sitting here this evening. I was a member of the San Manuel Rotary Club for some 50 years, so I'm not a Johnny-come-lately. I have witnessed the lives of young people who have attended this college that have went on to greater things within life. I think the question that we need to ask ourselves this evening is, where would you as an individual be if it were not for education? So education is very much needed, and I am in full support of the maintenance of this particular location. However, I am well aware of the changes that needs to be placed and the responsibility that is placed upon this board in the making of those decisions. I served on the board of the San Manuel Fire Department for the last 27 years, and I understand some of those decisions that have to be made that are very difficult to face and to understand. But believe me, education is of utmost importance to each and every one of us. We have young people that went on into the nursing profession from this area. We've had young doctors that have attended here and went on to become doctors. We've had very many people. You know, we've all been almost shocked by the closing of the mines, but the foresight of the leadership of the mines in this area was helped bring about the establishment of this, because they knew that the time would come when the mines would no longer be, and there had to be jobs available in other areas. And that was the establishment of not only Central Arizona College, but all of the side colleges throughout the state, to touch the lives of young men and women and help them to get off on the right foot. Our Pinal County Supervisor told us this evening that there are jobs that are available, and there are companies that are looking for people with jobs. Where are they going to find them? Where are they going to get educated for it? I thank each and every one of you, and whatever your decisions are, I am full of support of Arizona Central College.
Hazel Cooper. You decline. Ruth Wentworth. Thank you. Samantha Gonzalez.
Hello, can you hear me back there? Okay. So, I'm Samantha Gonzalez, and I'm a proud student to be attending Aravaipa campus. And I'm speaking on behalf of Gloria Guzman. To close the Aravaipa campus would be such a disservice to the citizens of Eastern Pinal County. I ran to sit on the Central Arizona Governing Board over 30 years ago to help these citizens have the opportunity to earn degrees while being able to stay at home to work and support their families. My colleagues and I worked hard to make sure these citizens would have the same opportunity to go to school as the Pinal County citizens from Northern Arizona State University, Arizona State University, and the University of Arizona. Many of these citizens are working in Pinal County, giving back to our community. I respectfully ask the governing board to please keep the Aravaipa campus open. Thank you, Gloria Guzman. Guzman.
Andrea Laguna.
Hi, I'm speaking on behalf of Nan Nazar, Executive VP, Saddlebrook Community Outreach. I am stunned at the thought that CAC would close the Aravaipa campus. I have been a member of Saddlebrook Community Outreach for 17 years, serving on our board in a variety of positions, including President, Grant Writer, Publicity Chair, and recently as Executive VP. During that time, my records show that we began funding college for kids in that campus in 2004 and have continuously supported it to date. I had the pleasure of attending one of the final performances several years ago. It was a wonderful presentation by the kids and enjoyed by a very large audience of family and friends and supporters. This educational opportunity is definitely enhanced by being held on the Aravaipa campus, with proximity to surrounding canyons, rivers, and desert environment. Did you know that many of the participants returned to be junior counselors due to the popularity of the program, knowing that each year it will feature a different science theme? My records also show that since 2001, when we began offering college scholarships to high school students in your geographic area, 105 have been awarded to the CAC and Pima County College. The benefit of your location is the ability to live at home, making education more affordable. At one summer pizza party for scholarship recipients, past and present, a student announced he would be taking courses at CAC online because it would be less expensive. He was determined to get a better education at the best cost that he could. The campus has recently been offering lecture series, and I was told the Foresniks event was a standing room only sellout. Your campus is one place offering educational opportunities for people of all ages in a part of Arizona that has serious poverty issues. It is an institution that makes it possible for so many to find a way out of that financial challenge and become active participants in their own communities. Do continue to provide your community with the opportunities that can only be accessed at Aravaipa. Keep in mind that those that attend the programs, receive the education, can be our future leaders. Thank you.
Maricela Mata.
Marisol Mota, and I will be speaking on behalf of Julie Formo. Oh, sorry. Dear CAC board members, the Aravaipa campus of Central Arizona College is a sanctuary of learning and support for our surrounding communities. So many people in our communities have been blessed with the opportunity to follow their dreams and become successful members of society. People of all ages are able to attend this campus because of the central location in our community. We are a small but valuable resource of talented people who need the kind of support that is available at the AVC. The professors at our college give a caring, personal touch. They nurture new, timid, and unsure students and reassure and encourage others. I had a dream of becoming a teacher, but I was 40 years old and wasn't sure I could succeed in college. I had 4 children, and paying tuition out of our budget for a future was difficult. After first year of college, I received the encouragement to apply for all Arizona academic scholarships and won the scholarship. I decided to attend Northern Arizona University and pursue my dream. Now I had the confidence to build a brighter future for myself and my family. I was the first one in my family to graduate from college. I have taught elementary school in my community for the last 9 years. Miss Maureen Wilson took me on a field trip one day to help judge at the Southern Arizona Regional Science Fair. In Tucson, I fell in love with the program. I began working at the Mammoth STEM School and started taking my own class project to SAR, SEF, and we won many awards. I helped mentor other teachers there, and we began taking projects together. We won Elementary School of the Year, and I won Elementary Teacher of the Year because of our understanding, projects, and participation. We won many awards to help our science program at the school. I now work at the Mountain Vista Elementary School in Oracle, Arizona, and have began to mentor teachers here. I was a teacher at the AVC College for Kids for 3 years, and I witnessed the wonderful world of science and nature upon us, opened up to the children of our community. Through many and many fun and educational, thank you.
Billy McGovern, Jr.
Good evening, governing board and members. I'd like to begin with saying, can you hear me good? No? Is it better right there? Okay. Did you hear everything or not? I grew up within a mile of this college campus. I can remember my brother and a cousin, we used to ride around this campus on bicycles 42 years ago. They had banana seats, that'll give you an idea. It sets a time frame. We were chased off many times. Several years later, I resigned the banana seat bike. Attended the college. I pursued a career and actually went in the military and did some law enforcement. My whole family was in the copper mines. I was the one that kind of got away. And I have since returned, and they're still confused on what happened there. Like I say, I've had many relatives that have attended this college campus. I've got all of my sisters dead. I had 4 sisters, cousin, aunts, uncles. I used to come up here with an uncle of mine and help him in the welding class. I would just like to say I graduated from Ray High, then I came here, and I would like to say don't deprive the future students that will be graduating real soon here from high school. Don't take their opportunity from them to go forward with their lives and pursue careers as many of us right in this room have done already. Thank you.
Sarah Naranjo.
Hello, can everybody hear me? My name is Sarah Naranjo, and I'm the high school guidance counselor at Ray High School in Kearney. And I apologize, I don't have a formal speech. I just found out about this a few hours ago. I received a text, and I went into a panic, told my family, you're on your own for dinner and homework, and I got over here. The panic was because we cannot close this campus. For 17 years, I have worked at Ray High School, and the majority of my work involves college and career planning with our students. And I can say with confidence that at least 80% of every senior class that is college bound, so not the entire senior class, but the college bound students, start off at this campus. And the reason for that, accessibility and affordability. Our kids come from low income backgrounds, and that is not their fault. And I think a lot of times people forget that. We get caught up in, well, people don't work, and so it's their own fault. It's not the kids' fault what situation their parents are in financially. So let's not take away from them their opportunities to go on and better themselves. This campus is awesome. Maria, are you still here? Maria Munoz, I mean, I feel she deserves a standing ovation. She has been outstanding. I don't know if the support that she has given our students over the years, I cannot commend her enough. They are one, and not just Maria, but she's the one that comes to our campus, but just wonderful. Sherry comes out and does a financial aid presentation for our families every year. Things that our kids and our families can't have otherwise. Our students want to go on to a university, but initially they just can't. And so this is their bridge. That was said earlier by somebody. This is the bridge. They start here. They get a great education. For some of them, they're able to stop here. They get their associates or their certificate, and that's what they need to go on to pursue the career that they're seeking. But I can't stress enough the importance of this campus, and I wish I could be saying it more eloquently than I am right now, but I hope my message is getting across as far as the value of this campus and what it provides our students. And it's not just Kearney, it's the entire Copper Corridor. I know all the other guidance counselors in the area would agree with me if they were here this evening. Their programs, it even begins before they graduate. So our students, after their sophomore year, can participate in the First Step program. For those of you that aren't familiar with that program, they are allowed to come out here to the campus and take 5 credit hours for free after their sophomore, junior, and senior years. So they're getting a head start on college before they've even left high school. If the campus were to close, that opportunity would go away. Our juniors and seniors, they can take the classes through the early college program, and this is offered both in the fall and the spring. So thank you for all the years of keeping this campus open, and I appreciate your time.
Becky Stumbaugh-Heller. Oh, I left out somebody, but I'll get her next. Go ahead. Hey, go ahead.
I'm not Becky, I'm Stephanie. Just so everybody's not confused, but Becky had to leave, so. Thank you very much, Board President and members of the Governing Board. As I said, my name is Stephanie Smallhouse. I own a home in San Manuel, Arizona, and my kids attend the Mammoth San Manuel Unified School District. My husband and I farm and ranch in Pinell County on a family-owned ranch which has been owned and operated for over 130 years in the San Pedro River Valley in the same family. As is true in farming and ranching and any life endeavor, you reap what you sow. The value of what comes out of a community and its role in Arizona's future is dependent upon the investment made by those who live here for the future of the next generation. The communities along the Copper Corridor and beyond greatly benefit from this campus and its location. The college provides a great partnership to the local San Manuel Mammoth School District through several programs which offer young students an opportunity to take college-level courses and vocational training. These programs are very important to rural areas, which can be at a disadvantage to urban school districts, which are more affluent and can offer advanced placement classes as a college preparatory program. As was just mentioned by the school counselor, local students are able to begin college-level courses in the 10th grade year and continue on with more opportunities throughout their high school education. Without the presence of this college at this location, these students would not have the opportunity to advance their learning prior to graduation and be at a distinct disadvantage to many students in other areas. Not only does this campus provide assistance to our next generation, but it also affords an opportunity for adult education for those wishing to or needing to change careers later in life, as Mr. Chavez stated. Our economy has yet to recover fully from its downturn of the last several years, and some areas are more depressed than others with limited job opportunities. Such is the case for this area. The presence of this college campus has allowed many adults to learn new skills and restart their lives in a whole new job environment. The demand for vocational skills continues to rise, and this campus provides an opportunity for young people to choose between starting off in life with less debt and a valuable skill which can be put to work on day one. My mother, who is a retiree in San Manuel, is also looking forward to taking some vocational classes this year here at this campus to learn new skills which can help to supplement her fixed income. The programs offered to local high school students encourage them to keep their grades eligible for participation and provide them with options to plan for the future. I plan to seek out these programs for my own daughter when she reaches the 10th grade, and she is already looking forward to this challenge these classes will bring, as well as a leg up. Community colleges are local and they are flexible. They teach many technical skills which are overlooked in four-year universities and provide non-traditional educational opportunities. Professors are more accessible and class sizes are smaller. I would just like to say that I'm a taxpayer too. I don't like paying taxes, but there are some taxes that you pay towards productivity so that you don't pay more later towards total unproductivity. Thank you.
Forgive me, Stephanie, for not calling you. I didn't turn. Okay, now it is Becky Stamba-Heller. She had to leave. Okay. Tracy Mulvaney.
Good evening, Governing Board and colleagues, guests, taxpayers, which encompasses all of us. I've been very confused by that at these board meetings, that there's a perception that we're not taxpayers too. The students that come to our college come from families that are taxpayers. So we're all included in that. Just a point of clarification. Anyway, I'm a faculty member and a taxpayer in Pinal County, and I'm here to encourage the board to vote in favor of the recommendation to increase faculty and staff salaries. To remind the public, salary funds are not connected with tuition. Several years ago, as Karen Henhedy had stated, a salary study was conducted which showed areas where our salaries were highly deficient. Instead of a giant leap to bring us to parity, we decided that we would go with incremental increases, and that would, so we would not lose those valuable faculty and staff members. These are staff members who are part of our community. They are our community, and they're being poached by neighboring districts, like MCC, for instance. I looked on MCC's salary schedule, and with my education level, with my years of experience, a faculty member makes over $7,000 more. If you look at adjunct pay, and we are highly staffed by adjunct faculty, MCC, for instance, pays $863 per credit as opposed to our $701 per credit. So for a 3-credit course, if you just work at MCC, you automatically make almost $500 more for that course. We're losing valuable faculty, we're losing valuable employees. We can't compare apples to apples thinking, well, MCC is a bigger college for this instance because there are competitors in terms of staffing. We lose staff because it's not a far drive if you live in Pinal County to work at MCC. I ask you to please consider the recommendations made by our Salary and Benefits Committee brought forward by Dr. Moore on behalf of that committee. Thank you for your time and your support as always.
Dominic Savannah.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board, President Moore. I believe I'm the last speaker, so it won't be too much longer. But after listening to everyone today and the valuable input that everybody's put forward, I just want to share a little bit of my personal experience with CAC and why I believe this is such an important institution in this area of Arizona. When I first started applying to colleges, I don't come from a very wealthy family, but I got into a decent school, New York University. And my mom said, we'll figure it out because this is your American dream. And we tried, but we didn't figure it out. And that happens with a lot of college students. The community college system is supremely necessary for our democracy, for our country, for the betterment of our society. I thought when I moved to Arizona that the best lessons that I had learned were behind me. Thank God I was wrong. I have had the greatest mentors here at Central Arizona College. I've had the greatest opportunity to cultivate myself as a student and as a leader. And the greatest lessons that I've learned have been from my pursuit of wanting to be an educator from my students. I have the privilege of working with students in the private sector through tutoring companies, and I have a lot of younger students that talk about going to college, and I know, because some of them are from similar backgrounds than me, that they may not have the opportunity to go to an expensive university, to go to an expensive private college. This is our promise for the future. In Pinal County, this is our major contribution to our future. I will happily pay taxes. I do pay taxes mostly to Social Security and Medicare, but I will happily pay taxes the rest of my life to that promise for the future. And I think that as citizens of the United States, the great country that we live in, we should embrace our contribution to the future. Thank you.
Derek Span.
Madam Board Chair, Interim President Jim Moore, Mary Lewis, distinguished members of the board. I don't want to talk about anything controversial tonight or anything that will divide us. I just want to talk a few minutes about raises and salaries. Nothing creates discussion raises more dialogue, like salaries and raises. Besides race and ethnicity, nothing is like talking about raises and salaries. Congress gave itself a raise 6 times in the last 10 years. President Obama just put in for a raise for ex-presidents. Given his tenure, smart move. Over the last 4 years, the nation's CEOs, and I'm talking about big CEOs, not small business CEOs, without whom we would have much more unemployment, but the nation's CEOs increased their worth over 200% what their workers make. And if in fact, the low-wage workers of our country, if their salaries would have kept pace with the nation's CEOs over the last 8 years, everyone making minimum wage would be making $49,000 a year. Wages are determined by the value of the work. There is no such thing as minimum labor or minimum labor. What is minimal is the value that we attach to the work. So as we think about the passing of this budget, and we think about the value of education, let us think about how important education really is. Let us think about how important educators really are. And I do understand, and we must not be indifferent and insensitive to those community members who are concerned about the rising of their taxes. We must hear their concerns and their cries. But I would offer this tonight, that if you think that education, the cost of education is too high, where do you see the rising cost of ignorance? In just a few weeks, we will have a graduation. If you come to that graduation, you will see individuals walking across the stage. And every individual that walks across the stage, that's one less person that will be robbing you. Every individual that walks across that stage, that is one less person that will rape and kill. Every individual that walks across that stage, that's one less terrorist in the United States. Every individual that walks across that stage, that's one less person that will engage in bigotry and hatred and homophobia. Education is important. And so tonight I ask you not to get bogged down in the paralysis of analysis, but let's begin to look at the budget not as a burden, but as a possibility. Let us begin to look at that budget as an opportunity to train young minds and to give people like Lexi an opportunity to say creatively and with more power the very words that we said just 2 hours ago. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I realize that I usually do not make any kind of comments after the call to the public, but I feel it's necessary tonight. With so many of you here, I could hear the fear and the urgency, but I think I can speak for this whole board that we have no intention of closing this campus. We know the importance of the campus and the importance of the people who are here. There is a small but very vocal group of people who have mentioned the closing, but it's not going to happen as long as we can keep it from it, and I think we can. Thank you very much. We're going to take a slight break now and then go into our regular meeting. We have the executive session now, so you can stay if you wish, and we'll be back. We're going to leave for an executive session, and we will have a break before this executive session. Okay. Do I hear a motion that we go back into session?
Madam Chair, I move that we come out of executive session.
No, that we go into regular session.
That we go into regular session.
Thank you.
Thank you for coaching me.
And I need no coaching. I second that.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? We're back in regular session. Okay. We're going to just do due to the hour, we're going to just do the action items, plus Dr. Moore's presentation of award and the students' presentation. And other than that, we're going to skip the other and do it next month. So, therewith. What is next on the agenda? Is that you? That is you.
No, the next item is...
Okay, you moved my thing.
I did, I moved it. We're doing...
Well, I have this.
Discussion with possible action on salary.
Right, that's what we were in executive session for. We will now have discussion with possible action on salary and benefits. Do I hear any discussion or motion?
Madam President, I would like to make a motion.
Please do.
I move not to increase employee benefits this year and not to increase the overall taxes. In order to remain competitive, however, we will reallocate some existing operating funds to grant a 2% salary increase across all employee groups. This increase will ensure we remain in alignment with our salary study that was conducted 3 years ago. So I repeat, we will not increase overall taxes.
I second the motion.
Okay, further discussion? Okay, all in favor of the motion, please signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It carries unanimously. So, are we now to your presentation? Okay. You would take care of that.
All right. We'll forego the president's report and the association groups for this meeting, but some of that same information we can share with the board in the May meeting. Right now, I would like to call up Sherry Perea, the fiscal agent for the Aravaipa campus. We have a plaque for her. Now, we had presented this earlier. It's been in front of almost everybody in this end of the county. This is for 20 years of stellar service to Central Arizona College.
And where are we with
So,
the student?
right. So now, I know the students have worked very hard on a presentation that represents this campus. Do you want to introduce the faculty and that in that particular presentation? Okay. Okay.
Good evening, Madam President, governing board members, President Moore, CAC students and staff, members of the community. Thank you for the opportunity to be here with you today. My name is Lawrence Polanco,
My name is Manuel Chavez.
and we are with the Student Leadership Organization at the Aravaipa campus. Tonight, we would like to share an update on some of the things happening with our organization.
In fall semester, we participated and traveled to different events that we not only hosted here at Aravaipa campus, but we traveled to different such events throughout the community and to Prescott as well. In fall semester of 2015, we held Welcome Week events, volleyball games for the students. We went to Coppertown Days events to raise funds for our student leadership organization. We went to Oktoberfest to outreach to the community about Central Arizona College. We did another community outreach program with the Samuel Senior Center. Excuse me. We assisted in highway cleanup along the road coming up here to the Aravaipa campus. We held a Veterans Day ceremony. We hosted a Hispanic awareness event. We traveled to Prescott for a 3-day leadership retreat. We participated in the Samuel Elks Evening Christmas event, along with a Samuel Halloween trunk or treat event, and the Samuel Rotary Highway cleanup. In this current semester of 2016, we hosted a flag football game here on campus. We traveled to Tucson, Arizona, to the University of Arizona to the National Collegiate Leadership Conference. We held a Black History Month awareness event. We traveled to Samuel High School and talked to the seniors about Central Arizona College and Student Leadership Organization. We held a voting registration campaign, another highway cleanup, a student appreciation event, a women's luncheon for exemplary leadership in the community luncheon. And we also helped in the Samuel Rotary St. Patrick's Day breakfast. In upcoming events this spring semester, we are going to do a presentation like we did at Samuel High School to Hayden and Kearney school districts and talk to the seniors about Central Arizona College and student leadership. We are going to participate in a community outreach at the Oaks Festival next week on campus. We are having a domestic violence awareness event along with student awards and another student appreciation event.
On behalf of student leadership, we would like to thank you for your support.
Madam President, I just have to make a comment. That is a very impressive list of activities.
I was going to ask what you do in your spare time.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Sure.
2 leadership institutes. What was the most important thing that you learned?
You're amazing. Amazing. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do the budget right after, because this sort of flows from.
Okay, I can't do it in the dark. We're not gonna show the PowerPoint, we're just doing the video.
Okay.
But I'm not ready to do the video, just show me where.
So that's where it will be.
Okay. Okay, right there, okay. Governing Board Christensen, Governing Board members, Interim President, what's your name, Moore? It's really late.
They forget.
Colleagues and guests. It's my privilege to forego my PowerPoint presentation because I can get quite passionate about what we do out here at Aravaipa. But I would just for a moment like to acknowledge our 4 faculty that are our face-to-face faculty because we made them stay. And these are the ones that are face-to-face and we have on our campus. But because the college is fiscally responsible, most of us are district employees. They not only teach here, they teach through ITV, they teach all kinds of things. I'm not only the dean at this campus, I'm the dean of the communications division, the largest division, and that's district-wide. And I also do all the scheduling for district-wide, and I teach a face-to-face class when I have the opportunity every single fall. And so we're district employees out here, and we appreciate the fact that we can serve a district and that we can still have some face-to-face classes. And we have Dr. Louise King, that is our biologist. She also has her degree in veterinary medicine. We have Professor Karen Hennetti. Oh, what's your name? We have Professor Kenzie McKinney that teaches English. We have Professor Marion Wilson that teaches social and behavioral sciences and is also helps many of our students, as she is a sponsor for PTK, and helps them endless hours apply for scholarships. And thank you, Marin. And last but not least, we finally have a face-to-face math instructor that I do believe is going to help our success and retention out here. Thank you for joining us, Tom Bell. Now that I forgo my piece, I would like to show you some of the product. I approached one of our student leaders, Edward Aguirre, who has become passionate about serving his community and serving this campus. And I told Edward I'd just sort of like to see that last year we centered in on what we do for the community as the Aravaipa campus. Now I want to show sort of what we do in terms of changing lives in the Copper Corridor. We talked about it, and he totally produced this himself. This is a product of a leader at the Aravaipa campus, Edward Aguirre. Now you can hit the lights.
Well, my name is Candace Kelly. I graduated from Central Arizona College's Aravaipa campus in spring 2014 with my associate's degree in creative writing. I'm now attending the University of Arizona. I've wanted to be a writer since I was 9 years old, but I definitely got to explore that at the Aravaipa campus. And working with people like Kenzie McKinney and Moran Wilson really heightened my passion for writing in general. The Aravaipa campus was the perfect choice for me. If it weren't for the Aravaipa campus, attaining a higher education would have been impossible. It would have been cost prohibitive, and I would have had to use unavailable resources, and I would not have been able to go to the University of Arizona or any other institution. I feel like the Aravaipa campus really gave me adaptive strategies to work with the U of A's lack of accessibility. My name is Candace Kelly. I'm going to be a published author, and all of my success started at the Aravaipa campus.
So my name is Erica Flores. I'm currently the digital journalist for Maricopa County. I went to the Aravaipa campus from 2004 to 2006. I got an associate's degree in journalism. I think it would be very difficult to be where I am now if it weren't for the Aravaipa campus, because it was just crucial for me to be in that small community, coming from a small town, and having that one-on-one relationship with all of the professors. I know the Aravaipa campus opened so many doors for me. The public relations department from the college was there covering a governing board meeting, and I met them, I shadowed them, and that's where it all grew. I started writing for the Cactus newspaper, became the bureau chief in Aravaipa. I had all these responsibilities to get stories from the Aravaipa campus, and then from there it just kept growing. I started reporting for more newspapers, and then I went to the Cronkite School at Arizona State University, and from there I got opportunities to be on television. I worked in Spanish television for Telemundo, for Telefutura. I'm Erica Flores, and all of my success started with the Aravaipa campus at Central Arizona College.
My name is Lorena Villanueva. I'm from Samuel, Arizona. I got my Associates of Science degree at the CAC Aravaipa campus. I'm an All-USA scholar. Currently, I'm a pre-med student at the University of Arizona studying occupational therapy. I have an 8-year-old little girl who's autistic. Before I even started my college experience here at Aravaipa, the whole idea was completely scary. I didn't know how I was going to be able to manage my daughter's extra needs at home while trying to squeeze in school. When I came to Aravaipa, Maria made me feel comfortable, let me know it was going to be okay, that the teachers were awesome. They let me know that I would be able to take tests a little bit beforehand, or if I had to absolutely miss class. My PTK advisor, Marin Wilson, introduced me to the All Arizona Scholarship. Linda Dickey is the one that proofread all of my essays, and she was a tremendous help with that. With their assistance, I was the recipient of the All Arizona First Team. By making the first team, I was now eligible for the All USA team. It was my privilege to be the recipient and represent CAC Aravaipa at Washington, D.C. I never even would have got my start or came back to school if it wasn't for the Aravaipa campus. I probably would have just settled with being a stay-at-home mom. I felt like I was just a number. I was completely ignored. I felt it wasn't for me until I came to the Aravaipa campus. My name is Lorena Villanueva, and I'm going to be an occupational therapist.
My name is Cheyenne Dickey. I am from Kearney, Arizona. I currently attend the Aravaipa campus, and I am getting my associates in special education. If it wasn't for being able to attend the Aravaipa campus, I wouldn't have been able to get a college education, I don't think, because I come from a single income family, and it just would have been too hard on my family to be able to pay for me to go to a university or to go to another campus. I can take face-to-face classes, I've taken the ITV classes. It's allowed me to broaden my education, but still from a local, affordable aspect. If I wasn't able to attend this campus, I would have never found my passion for special education, and I wouldn't be able to pursue my dream career like I am right now. That I got a great start to success here at the Aravaipa campus.
My name is Edward Aguirre, and I'm from Dudleyville, Arizona, and I'm about to transfer into CAC's nursing program this summer. I was inspired to attend the Aravaipa campus through the First Step in Early College program, where I was able to take college courses starting as a sophomore in high school. Because I was a First Step in Early College program student, it felt only natural to transition to the Aravaipa campus after high school. I kind of got a feel of what to expect from a college environment. In my second semester, I decided to take an intro to anatomy and physiology. Although I was really afraid that I wasn't able to handle the rigorous coursework, I had a really great time. I was afraid to take one science class. I ended up taking 7 face-to-face classes with our professor of biology, Louise King. Taking 7 rigorous science courses here with Louise King greatly influenced my decision to pursue the medical field. When I first attended this campus, I was a very shy person, but this campus allowed me to grow as an individual through clubs and organizations such as Phi Theta Kappa, Student Leadership, Student Public Policy Forum, the Science Club, and now Hispanic Leadership Institute. Because of all these resources and opportunities that were provided to me, I made a tremendous growth as a person, and I'm civically engaged not only in my community, but my campus, and district-wide as well. The Aravaipa campus provides an array of opportunities and resources that are available not only to me, but my entire community, and these cannot be replaced or reduced by any means. The Aravaipa campus of Central Arizona College is where I got my start to success.
My name is Manuel Aristeo Chavez III, and I'm currently living in Mammoth, Arizona. I'm currently now attending Central Arizona College at Aravaipa campus, and I am studying for a kinesiology science degree with an emphasis on physical therapy. What I'm most excited about here at Aravaipa campus is the fact that I'm going to be able to take certain classes such as anatomy, Bio 181, Bio 182, and chemistry and nutrition, which is actually going to be able to help me further my studies when I transfer to a major university here in the state. I'm in a situation right now where my mother is ill, and I can't be away from home at a great distance because not only she but my father also require my assistance. If I were to travel to any other campus, most of them are a good hour to 2 hours away from my home. I am very grateful that I did come here because not only did I run into some friends that I had in high school that are now attending this college, I also had the opportunity to make many new friends, not only through classes but through such groups as Student Leadership Organization, which to me has been one of the greatest blessings that I've come across on this campus. And it's opened so many new networking opportunities to get to know other people from other campuses and many other students across the nation. My name is Manuel Chavez, and my road to success began here at Aravaipa campus.
CAC Aravaipa campus truly laid the foundation for all future achievements that I would attain.
If it wasn't for the Aravaipa campus, I would not be where I am right now.
I would not have completed my GED. I would not be ready to graduate with my associate's degree.
The Aravaipa campus changed my life, and the best of my success is yet to come.
I would like to say thank you to Edward and Gary for putting that together. And one last piece, we want to thank the board for being fiscally responsible and recognizing we need face-to-face education, but at the same time we're able to provide our students with other pieces of the puzzle through ITV. So I'd like for any other professors that have Aravaipa students via ITV to please stand. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Congratulations, Edward. Okay, we will next go to number 10, Business Affairs, Mr. Watka.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Governing Board members. What's your name, President Moore? Ms. Mary Lou, colleagues, guests, and anyone else remaining. 2 items for information. First is the monthly budget report. We are now done with 9 months of our fiscal year. So through the month of March 2016, the district's general fund expenditures and committed funds are at 81.2% of the total budget. This is a slight decrease of 0.44 of 1% from March 2015, which was 81.64. So really we are on target, or a little below target actually, at the end of 9 months now of the fiscal year. Second item I have is the bids, awarded over 20,000 for the month. Handful of them. First one is Fisher Scientific out of Hanover Park, Illinois, $27,747.62, and that is to purchase a spectrometer, a PicoSpin 45 NMR. This is for the science department, obviously, and it is purchased from the STEM grant funds. Second item is Architect Services. This is Architecton Incorporated out of Tempe, Arizona, in the amount of $2,623,520. That is for the services for the Signal Peak campus. Next one, Fisher Scientific, Hanover Park, Illinois, $22,567.53. This is a different spectrometer. This is a Nicolette IS5 FTIR, also Science Department and also from STEM grant funds. Next item, desktop computers, CDWG, Vernon Hills, Illinois, $143,177.94. And that is to purchase desktop computers for the entire district. Replacement computers, I should state. Next one, Solutions Video Conferencing, Los Angeles, California, $33,627.02. This is an ITV CMA server and software integration product, district-wide. Next item, Sunland Asphalt out of Tempe, Arizona, $20,019. That is to resurface the parking areas at the Superstition Mountain campus. Next one, CDWG, Vernon Hills, Illinois, $28,981.31. That is to purchase replacement computers for the testing center at the Casa Grande Center with the WIOA grant funds. Rural Metro Fire Department, Pasadena, California, $22,850.61. That is to purchase the fire services for the Santan campus. And the last one that we have is Goodman's out of Tucson, Arizona, $57,326.81. Chairs, tables, and stools, and other types of classroom furniture for the G building, the gym at Signal Peak campus. Any questions on the bids? Thank you.
Next, we have the consent agenda. The following items are consent matters. Any of them can be removed or can be voted on as written. I have one question here. I had not heard the name Tremaine before, and here are 2 Tremaines. How can that happen? Anyway, what is the pleasure of the board there?
Madam Chair, I move we accept the consent agenda as presented.
I second that.
All in favor of such motion, signify by aye.
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 Opposed? Carries unanimously. Okay, the other one that we're going to go ahead and do is Mr. Wadgam on the discussion and possible action on the approval to publish the budget.
Thank you. This is the tentative budget for 2016-17 fiscal year. It is an action item because we are requesting the board approval of this preliminary draft of the budget for publication. As you know, each year we publish the budget. There are a certain amount of days and newspapers that we publish the tentative budget. After your approval at the April meeting, and then at the May meeting we approve the final budget. So attached you will see, and I must state, after approval of the budget for publication, it can be further decreased but not increased from the amounts presented this evening. Attached are the multiple page state budget forms that we must fill out for your review. I'll just quickly go through them. There are 3 of them. The first one lists out all of our funds, comparison of the budget 2016 to the budget 2017. Our current general fund budget, current year is $48,200,000. Proposed tentative budget is an increase of $500,000 to $48,700,000. Total primary tax levy. This year, our current year, we had a 230 tax rate. With the increase in assessed valuation, the amount recommended from the Property Tax Oversight Commission, we are going at a rate of 228 for the primary tax levy. The secondary tax levy has about a 1.1 cent decrease as well. So overall, the total property tax rate is going down by 0.9%, almost 1%. Our state dollars, if you look at the second page, our state dollars have been cut by about $175,000 for the next year. We are at about 1.9 million this year. We're going down to 1,725, and that is still a tentative. The legislative session has not approved the final budget. This has been in tentative stage since the month of January, but that's all we can publish is what we know. Tuition, as you approved the $2 increase, this budget is based on a $2 increase for tuition. And also, I based this budget on a 2% salary and benefit increase, which you approved earlier this evening, so those amounts are already reflective in your budget sheets. So overall, the current general fund, it's a balanced budget, $48,700,000 in expenditures, $48,700,000 in the revenues. One thing to point out in the other funds is in the unexpended plant fund, you will see on the second page, it does include the proceeds from the sale of bonds, which the board approved the revenue bonds in the amount of $33 million. So we must budget them for the next fiscal year, and they will be issued sometime after July 1st. Everything else is pretty much status quo in the budget, and or some minor adjustments, increases or decreases that flush out to our total increase of only $500,000 in the current general fund, which is approximately 1% increase in the entire budget of the operating funds. With that, I'd entertain any questions you may have. Otherwise, I would ask for actions that we may proceed in the publication of this budget.
Are there questions from Mr. Wadka? Is there a motion?
I move that we accept his proposal there.
This can be changed to go lower, but
Correct.
not higher.
Correct. It can only be decreased for the final May approval. It cannot be increased.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gibson. Are you seconding?
I second, sorry.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Okay. And the next thing we have is adjournment. And thank you all so much for coming and for sticking with us for such a long, long evening. And I'm sorry, those of you who prepared presentations, we would really have enjoyed them, but probably we wouldn't if it's going to be all night long.
Madam Chair, I move we adjourn.
No, we're already adjourned.
Oh.
So adjourned.
Why? I tell you what. I just can't get...